A good name.
So I guess you're playing colleges now, or what?
Well, we've always sort of played colleges. We played colleges, clubs.
Well, why not Radio City or not Madison Square Garden?
Well, they won't have us yet. You know.
Well, I mean, the lights are perfectly suited, and
I agree.
And the smoke, you know.
No, it's like the college thing's cool though. I mean, it's I guess it gets to a point where like if a lot of people at that particular university want to see you and stuff, then you can do stuff like this.
So most of the people who come out to see you, are they there just for a Friday night, or do they know you?
No, it's like some places it's like that, but not very often. I mean, sometimes when we play like Saturday night and it's like in a real get drunk kind of college town sort of place, you figure about half the people there to see you, the other half could care. You know? And those nights are pretty.
And do they stay because?
Oh yeah, I mean, you know.
You can hurt a guy with your show.
Yeah, I know, but it's like, you know, if they're just regular guys, and they come and see us and they don't know what to expect. I mean, I think to the normal guy out there who doesn't like know what Sonic Youth and you know REM and all of them are all about, it probably just comes across as just like a rock and roll show, you know, because it's lights and it's loud and smoke and all that. So you know, I mean, that's why I think that. Even the dorks that are out there, when they come to see us, they, you know, they get it anyway. Just
were you always called the Flaming Lips?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Did you ever get problems because of maybe a band, you know, a club will say the Lips, well, we don't want that kind of crowd?
No. I think some of them. I mean, it doesn't seem like it's an offending name. You know, if you don't think about it, so it just sounds sort of goofy, you know. And so no. I mean, if we were called the Butthole Surfers, you know, you could see that. Or Pussy Galore or something, you know. But,
oh, so your mentality is just your normal guys, you know?
Well, I mean, it's a cool name. I mean, when we named ourselves that because at the time there was, when we started the band, there was, in Oklahoma City anyway, all the bands that were there were either like doing top 40 or they were just real mindless hardcore bands, you know, 16-year-olds, and their names were, I don't even know, like these political, you know, gloom and doom sort of names, and we hate our parents sort of thing, you know. And we were just like, man, you know, we're not in those shoving politics down your throat or.
Yeah, I guess you guys don't talk about politics much.
No, I mean we really don't, because I mean I figure anybody that is smart enough, you know, to. I mean, I don't really care to talk to the people who are real stupid anyway, you know, and people who are like smart enough to know what's going on, you know.
Which isn't to say you don't have opinions about it.
No, I mean, yeah, I do, but I just figure, man, you know, you can make up your own mind. You know, it's just about like drugs. A lot of people want to say, well, you know, you guys do drugs, or are you guys against drugs? And I'm like, you know, just do what you want. I mean, that's what we do. You know, I mean, I don't go out and buy a record just because someone says it's great or it sucks. You know, I'm sort of like, you know, I'll just check it out myself. I'm sort of like that with drugs and politics and all that. I mean, I think if you got the right attitude, especially when it comes to politics and drugs and stuff, that you're all right anyway.
Don't you think? I slowly want politics sort of go in. Say, look at guys like REM, their first records, nothing at all about politics. Now they're getting up to that Bono stage.
Yeah, I know.
Spokesman for people.
Yeah, I know, but I don't know if I like that. But I guess when you're,
I think it's a natural progression because you sort of do maybe the same thing. You write love songs
or something will like tick you off enough or something that you can get involved enough to write a song
and now
sing
it's
it.
Sort of you got to be political. Everyone's being political.
Yeah, I mean, it just seems like the Flaming Lips are sort of this thing. It's like I don't know, you know, how serious you should take, you know, us as like something to like base your life off of. So if we say,
how old are you guys?
I'm 26, and I think they're like 24 and 25. I mean, so you know, I'm not.
Mature people, right?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I mean, we're getting there little by little, you know. And so I don't know. I don't really like political songs anyway. I mean, it's like.
So you don't think they're gonna slowly get into your?
Well, they might. I mean, they might.
You know, not directly. You know, maybe
well, I sort of look at like, you know, I don't really know that much about politics and stuff. I mean, to really know a lot about it, you have to like be into it. You know, I mean, if you're really going to get into it, it takes a lot of time. Takes a lot of. You have to, you know, you have to keep up on that. And I'm not ready to like get that much into it. You know, I'm in a band and it takes everything I got just to do this. So,
I guess politics is sort of a touchy issue. You see guys like Michael Stipe. Once he makes a political statement, people listen to him.
Yeah.
And it's more like because Michael Stipe is Michael Stipe and not really the issue.
Yeah.
And it's you know, the two-edged sword.
It's kind of stupid. Yeah. I mean, they should make up their own minds. I mean, really, that's the way I feel. And maybe if someday, when people are just too stupid to think for themselves and they think maybe we should do it for them, maybe we will.
But I guess you're pretty much responsible for the songs?
Well, yeah, I mean, I sing most of them, so I pretty much, you know, am going to do the words. And on some of them, we all sort of get together and do the music and everything. We'll just come in with, like, just a smidgen of an idea, and we'll just bang out some shit and just go with it, you know. Because that's sort of what we like to do, just create stuff.
So how about tonight, maybe like new stuff that we
I
didn't see last year?
I don't know if we'll do any new songs. We don't really have any. We have one new song worked up that no one's heard, but I don't know if we'll do it just because when we get in front of people, it's sort of like, I don't want to do that because I don't remember the words. And if I have to remember words, I'm like.
Do you guys have a set list, or do you pretty much?
No, we don't have a set list, but we pretty much. I mean, we play what works. Yeah, you know. I mean, we don't play stuff that. For the records and stuff that we know just doesn't work live. We've played everything and it doesn't all work. So we pretty much stick with, you know, what's going to work.
How did the covers work? What can we expect tonight?
I don't know. We really like that Jesus and Mary Chain song we did at Soundcheck.
Which one?
Happy When It Rains.
That's it.
And it's a great song.
Oh, yeah.
It's on their new album. And I mean, they're kind of a bogus band, and you know, but their records are great, you know. And so it's a great song. And I don't really know. I mean, I think when we saw some Maxwell's, we did a Dead Boys cover. Yeah, and that's a great song. And they're sort of a bogus band, you know. I mean, they sort of just fucked up. And so, I mean, there's all these great songs out there that someone should do them, you know. Or we might do Death Valley 69. Have you seen us do that?
I read that in the box.
Yeah, I mean, we do that. And just because
Sonic Youth doesn't do it.
Yeah, because they don't, and when we saw them do it, it really sucked. So we sort of like we're taking that song because it's such a great song, and we're just playing it like.
Do these guys care? Sonic Youth, REM? They must have heard, you know.
Well, Sonic Youth actually, I mean, they knew we were playing Death Valley 69. And they asked us if we'd put it on a record so they could make some royalty money off of it. But
I remember they weren't too impressed with Camperman Beethoven, so.
Love Her All the Time.
Love Her All the Time.
Yeah, I like that. I thought it was
fun,
yeah.
But they didn't think to.
Yeah. So I don't know.
So you got slow things.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like every time we talk about Sonic Youth, I mean, I don't know if they like us as a band. I think they like us as a band, but I don't know if they like us as people or anything, because every time we talk about them, we always seem to put them down.
I guess in my fanzine, hold up. In my fanzine, I listed a bunch of top records and Sonic Youth was up there.
Yeah, I saw it.
And then a couple of lines later, I listed you guys, and I had the same description. Did that bother you? I hope not.
But it says, see Sonic Youth, the lips ought not.
Right, just say that loud, boom, crash sound. That's how I described the Sonic Youth record, and that's how I described you guys. Does it bother you so many lines?
Oh no, because I like Sonic Youth a lot. I think they're great, you know. And I mean, they sort of like turned us on to like a whole nother thing. And like, it doesn't matter if you can play guitars or play drums and stuff. I mean, they just do their thing, and it makes sound instead of
the
like.
thing is, right now, they're sort of getting some backlash saying they're getting this artsy image.
Yeah, and I don't think
it's so easy because now they're sort of big, so now you're supposed to.
Sure, you know, and I like them, and they could put out like a couple of sucky records, and I pretty much still like them for a while. You know?
Right now, these guys they're laughing at me. What do you think of Morrissey?
Oh, the guy from the Smiths.
Right.
I think everything he does sort of sounds alike. I mean, you know, he sings in a lot of the same way. I like his songs. I think it seems like he does poems, and then he puts them to music. And I think
he's a sensitive guy.
I mean, I don't listen to them a lot. I've heard I'm sure I've heard a little bit off of each record. But they're all right. I think he's, he kind of gets on my nerves after a while.
Any bands not to listen to?
You probably know the ones not to listen to. I don't listen to them either. The bands that suck, let's just get rid of them.
Well, I guess when you're touring, do a lot of bands come up to you and say, oh, you gotta listen to my tape?
Yeah, well, unfortunately, there still are a lot of bands out there that suck really bad. I mean, that's just the bottom line, you know, and when we do see a good band...
Any good ones?
Well, there's a band, actually there's a band in Chicago called Friends of Betty, and I don't know what they're doing. I mean, we played them, I thought they were great. They gave us a tape, and I really don't judge a band really until I see them live. It's like, because a lot of bands make records that sound great, and you see them.
And those guys open for you?
Yeah.
They were pretty good?
Yeah, they were really great. I think one of the better bands we've seen in a long time. And, yeah, there's just a lot of sucky bands. We sort of feel like there should be, like, strict laws sort of put on who gets to buy the guitars, the drums, you know.
The problem is, I guess anybody can do that, right? And anybody can put out a record.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not a problem. It's good, but that's the thing. Is like there's a lot of bands out there that just miss the whole point of, you know. I mean, there's a lot of bands want to do this Butthole Surfers thing or camper van thing. And, you know, you just see so much of it.
I guess you've pretty much been all over the country?
Oh yeah, we've been all over the country a
I
bunch
just
of times.
was wondering if we could leave this door open and get some light here, because we're going to turn off the light out in the hall.
Oh, well, we're sort of doing an interview right now.
Oh, okay, I'm
And
sorry.
we'll just be done in a minute.
So what's any like hotbeds like Athens, you know, any place you should go to?
No, go to
No?
Charlotte. Charlotte's a rockin' town. Florida's rockin'. Florida, we can go down to Florida and play a whole week, you know, in different towns, and it's all good. This is a good place. New York's good. Hoboken's good. Boston's good.
Right.
There's a lot of good places, and then there's places where we've played, like in the Midwest and stuff, real bumfuck sort of places where.
But those guys really want to see some bands.
Well, not a lot of bands go through there.
Yeah.
You know, and so to us, we always end up going home from somewhere, from one coast to the other, and we just play them on the way home and stuff. And you know, and to some of these people, we've played Bozeman, Montana for the third time, and
Don't you know something from Bozeman?
that's where Ron's from, yeah. And I mean, and you talk to some of those people up there, and they'll swear the only bands that exist are the bands that have played there. They're like, yeah, Boosters played here, the Lipsic played here, Sonic Youth played here. Those bands are great. And you're like, wow, have you ever heard of? You know, and they don't even know. They're like, oh, who cares? You know, they're never gonna come here. So we're, you know, we're into playing, and so that's why we play. I mean, I was just talking with Brian, and we're like, since July we've played like, you know, 190 gigs, you know.
Since July.
I know, and it's pathetic, you know.
Is it because you have nothing better to do?
Well,
or-
it just, we went out in July, and then that was before the record came out.
This is
And-
after you actually quit your jobs. So.
Yeah, well, we thought, well, we'd just quit our jobs and go out on a little month tour and come back and see what happened. So we quit and went out, and then the record came out, and we did a 6-week tour after that. We were home for about a week, and we were out on another 5-week tour then, and we got home right before Christmas, and we were home for a couple weeks around Christmas, and then we've done 2 weeks, and we just got done doing 3.5 weeks on the West Coast, and here we're going to be doing 3 weeks again. So it's like,
What happened in Oklahoma City? Is that where you guys are from?
well,
Or Norman?
well, it's sort of Oklahoma City and Norman, because they're real close. It's sort of like the college town and the regular city.
Do you, I guess, when you play there, do they sort of say, oh, the gods are back? Or-
Well, they do now, and it's really weird because, I mean, well, we're in People magazine, see? And when you're in People magazine, and, you know,
Russell seems to be working hard for you guys.
well, actually, it wasn't even them. The guy just got the record and loved it and called us up and said, hey, and we were like, hey.
So, you know
I
what?
mean, my mom's sister is calling from, you know, Pittsburgh and stuff.
So how's the record selling?
I don't know. I mean, we were just out in LA, and they tell us it's like, you know, it's like 10, 11,000, something like that, you know. And so
Is that nationwide or?
I don't think they know what Europe and Canada is yet. They simply like go with what they're shipping out here because it takes so long. So, you know, and to them that's good, and they really like us, and they, you know, they're really into us.
Going to the business part, does a royalty check come in once in a while?
Well, they come in. They'll probably be coming in about May, and then we'll see. I mean, you get publishing, and you get your royalties, and you get your advances, and all that. And ours just end up they come in about May, and that's when they tell you, well, you guys get to do another record with us, or you guys suck. We'll see you later.
How long are you sort of with Restless?
I think we've done 2 records so far. I think we got 3 more records to go, and that's if they'll still have us, you know. I mean, because the records now we're starting to get like a lot of money for them, and, stuff.
Right.
And the records really have to like be a big deal and sell a lot and all that. And so that's why we're touring and all that, because I mean, it's sort of like when you're a real band, we just figure this is what real bands do. They just play all the
I
time.
remember I was talking to Chris Buly on Wednesday week, and she was saying, you know, they just love the tour, but the thing is, the name just really doesn't help them out much.
No, they don't.
Restless, I guess, same thing.
No, they don't. I mean, a lot of people have the misconceptions that you get with a record company, and like you've seen other bands, and you figure that the record company does all this stuff for you, and they don't. I mean, they put out your records, and they want you to tour, and they do support you in ways on the tour, but they don't.
And that's the general rule of like the Twin Tones. And
Yeah, I mean, all of them,
guys.
really. I mean, they put out your records, and that's what they're for. They're a record company, I mean, they offer to do our booking for us, but there's no way we would have them do our booking. We know how they fuck everything up, you know.
But you signed with them, right?
Well, we're signed with them, but we know they do records, and we do everything on the records except press them, you know. So if they screw that up, they have to do it over. It costs them money, you know. And so we do everything. I mean, we have our own agent, we have our own manager, and we do all the stuff ourselves. We went into it with the real independent sort of thinking of like, well, you know, we can't afford to do our own records, so it's a good thing we have a company that wants to do them. But in no way did we want to give up anything else to say, sure, just have us go out there and make us rock stars, because they don't do that, you know. They really don't. I mean, they can give you all the money and all that they want, but you know, you're going to go see a band of Maxwell's, and if they suck, you're not going to buy their record or something. You know, that's the bottom line, you know. And so that's what we do. We just have to go out there and play. And
so why don't you show the guys your shoes and hands?
that's pretty sharp in the sock too.
And how'd you do that? You told us.
Well, they were silver. They were silver as of yesterday morning. And right as we left, we sort of had this thing that, you know, I try to change colors at least, you know, a couple times a tour. And then when we do the in-stores, well, we did one today, and they have all this paint there, and it's all over me. Then I'll just go ahead and do the shoes.
You guys have your smoke machine today?
Oh, of course.
That's it, I'm leaving. I'm leaving.
I didn't see it this morning.
Smoke bubbles.
Yeah.
God, Maxwell's, it was so intense that I
And Maxwell's is great because it's so
I could get
small.
scared, man. I figured some hands got
Yeah.
caught in my grass.
That's it in July that you guys did a little fuse or something?
Well, actually, it blew the whole block out, but we don't think it was us.
That was awesome. It's like Maxwell's.
Oh, and Maxwell's, yeah, we did. God, it was horrible. That's
The
horrible.
new
when
music
it
center,
happens.
right? Right, music seminar.
Yeah.
How'd that go with the new music seminar? Were there a lot of
Oh, yeah,
shots there?
Yeah, I mean, Ian Asbury was there from the Cult. He was at our LA show too. That's how we played
That's
LA.
probably
Red
right.
Cross was there in LA. I mean,
I'm talking about, say, Clyde, Vegas.
I don't know. I mean, I really don't care. We just sort of go to play, and you know, there's so many people who are into the jabbing thing that everybody's just drunk, and that's what the seminar's all about. It's just to, you know, go and schmooze it up with people. You know, we're just there to play. You know.
Hi, God. So,
Live all day.
So what else can I ask these guys? Sorry, last night, sort of to prepare myself for the show, I was listening to the first EP. And I guess I don't think I would have thought it's the same band as, you know.
We've sort of fucked up a lot on the way. I mean,
I wouldn't say that.
Well, it's a
just
lot different. I mean, there's a lot of people who, when they got our first EP and they loved us and everything, and as we've progressed on to do other stuff, they've sort of like stayed in their 13th floor elevator sort of 60s mode of what they want to hear. And when we did our first EP, it wasn't like we, I mean, you have to understand, we're from Oklahoma City, where it's like, you know, there aren't people like him and Fred Mills and guys like you that, you know, there's just not a whole lot of like knowledge of underground bands, so to speak, going on.
Mm-hmm.
And we were just a band, and we just figured we were going to go in and make a record, and we did it how we wanted, and we didn't know if it was hip or if it sucked or anything.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got out, and there was a lot of these people who were like, wow, 13th floor elevators and Stooges and all this, and we're like, oh, really? Wow. I didn't know, you know. And then when they came to see us, we were doing stuff like Led Zeppelin covers and stuff, and they're like,
Even then, you were doing that stuff.
we've always done that, you know, and they're like, well, you know, I don't really like Led Zeppelin, you know, and we're like, well, fuck, man, it's rock and roll, you know. I mean, I put it all in the same category: Buttholes, Zeppelin, Sonic Youth, The Who. You know, it's all rock and roll. You know, I don't like go well. There's this shit I like, and then there's that old crap that I don't. It's just like, if it rocks, it rocks, you know. And so we've just, our albums have just been, I mean, we got total freedom. We do exactly what we want. We're not, I mean, I don't know what a lot of bands do. If they make a record and everybody likes it, and they feel like they have to do this certain sound or be this certain thing. I mean, we just do what we want. And if it isn't the same, it's because, you know, we're just...
So the next record, when is that sort of do?
I don't know. I think the next record will probably be... It probably won't be as experimental as the last one, just because we got a lot of shit out of our system. We produced our own record. We got to deal with a lot of weird sounds and everything. And some of it works and some of it doesn't. But the record itself is still like an experiment in a lot of things. And some of the songs are good and some of them aren't. And this one I think will be, you know, the songs will be better and the songs themselves won't have such a weird feel. I mean, I really don't know. It'll probably be really weird. I mean, I thought the last record was going to be, everybody was going to think it was real commercial or something.
It's funny when Restless mailed me the record, I go, oh, do I really want to put on the Flaming Lips? You know, just by looking at it, I said, you know, it's a big deal. But really, I put it on and I said, where did these guys come from? You know, where have you been all my life? It was just a real revelation.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, so.
Well, I mean, when you saw it, did you just expect it to be a...
Just a trashy band, just a loud band, you know? But pretty much the opposite. You guys get slow when you want to.
Oh, yeah, real quiet, real whippy. And
It's pretty often that you guys sort of, you know,
Yeah.
keep it down.
Yeah,
It's
we do.
dynamic.
We do. Yeah, we try
It's
to...
hard for us papers, you know, what they can do next.
We're too quiet here. We're cranking up and then they're really loud. Well, yeah, I mean, we're into that. I mean, when I saw all these hardcore bands that were just, you know, from the first second, it's like intense, 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 you know. And I thought, wow,
That's
this...
how where does hardcore sort of go? It's after 30 minutes.
I know, it's like it's peaked in the first 2 seconds. And that's what I
I
always
was
thought.
being nice, saying 30 minutes.
Well, I mean, some of it they do it really well, but that was my only beef was that, why don't you give us a break and then get to that intensity?
And these bands are sort of scared to do what you guys do, sort of take it down.
Be called wimps.
That's right,
Oh,
that's
yeah,
right.
sucks, man.
Because those guys would just throw the beer bombs and stuff.
Yeah, you know, and like we've never really cared, and so we do all. I mean, really, I mean, I like the Bee Gees, you know. I mean, Andy Gibbs dead. I'm bumming out. You know?
Silence, silence, everybody, silence.
But I mean, so we like all kinds of stuff. So you know, we like to just play all kinds of
How
stuff.
did you think died? He was at a hospital, right?
They're claiming it's not drugs.
I just figured AIDS. That's the first thing I thought of. You know, the guy was a little bit.
Well, they said he went into the hospital with stomach cramps,
Right.
and he died yesterday. They said he had a bad heart. So he's been, I say he's been doing drugs since he was about 20, and it just took his toll.
Destroyed his fucking body.
So they can say it's a heart condition, but the drugs did it in the end anyway.
Yeah, that's right.
Drugs will kill you. Sid Vicious died of drugs. Andy Gibb died of drugs.
So, this is a 3.5-week tour or something?
Yeah, I think we're gonna end up in, I think somewhere in like Miami, Florida or something like that.
That's what you want to go, right?
Well, I've been there. I really don't care, you know. I mean, we're so screwed up because we didn't ever get a winter this year. We were sort of like, we're on the East Coast, all was real nice. And when we went home, it sort of snowed a lot there for a couple days when we were there. And we went to the West Coast and it was 70 degrees every day, and back home it was 40. And we're like,
You guys still live down there in Oklahoma?
yeah, we live, when we're there, we live there, you know, and practice there and stuff. In Oklahoma, it's getting better there. I mean, there's still a lot of sucky bands.
Are you familiar with Natalie, the one over there? Natalie Kerr? She had sort of hooked me onto you guys, just telling me that
What is the Blind Armadillo?
it's a fanzine.
Oh, no.
And it's based in Stillwater.
Oh, wow. Well,
It's so
I probably know them guys, but I don't remember anybody.
She had seen you guys and she was raving. Also with defenestration.
Defenestration, yeah. Yeah, they're real good, yeah.
Right, so I guess I should listen to them.
Well, they're more along the lines of what Norman is all about. I mean, the record that they have out is real Aerosmithy sort of, but they're really good at it. Whereas a lot of bands they don't rock out. They sort of do this real Pat College sort of sound, Cornell, early REM or something, you know.
To tell you the truth, I guess the college radio stations play you, right? None of the stations around New York City, NYU or FMU, they don't seem to play you guys.
I really don't know. I mean, I know a lot of college radio stations do because we get a lot of playlists and I have to look at them all and stuff. But I don't know. I don't think what we're doing is just strictly college music.
Right.
Which if you think about it, you know, the college radio stations and stuff are probably just as bogus as a lot of the top 40 because they follow.
They've got
the
formats and they've got.
And if people could just play what they like.
It's very few stations.
Yeah, I know.
Why you should listen to WFMU if getting new bands or something.
I think we heard something on the way up here.
Yeah, because those guys, it's all free form. They do what they want.
And see, that's how it should. I wish all radio was like that. You know.
That's right.
But I mean, that's to me. It's like the people are playing what they really want, and they want to play the Connells. And I mean, I'm not putting them down. I'm just saying that it's, you know, there's a certain sound and all that sort of college sound that goes. Yeah, and it goes with a lot of bands, and it's like, we're not wanting to be a college band. We're not wanting to be a commercial band. We're just
But I
wanting to
guess
be a
you
band.
just sort of forced into it since you're college age.
Mhm.
No one else is going to touch you. So you're really.
I mean, but it's like we're really not into the how there's major label bands and then there's independent bands. And independents, they sound a certain way, and the major labels all sound polished and Whitney Houston and all that. Well, we're sort of like, just forget about that because, I mean, the worst thing is for people just to say, well, I'm into the independent bands, whether they're good or not.
Did you ever watch the Grammy Awards?
No, I didn't. I don't think we were home.
It's. Well, what do you think? Do you think most guys, you know, little bands like you, say the Replacements, do you think they turn on the Grammys? And don't you think they all deep down want to be up there?
Well, I mean, there are probably some bands who form just to have a cult sort of following. I think the Cramps are a good example of a band who, like, they want to play to this certain crowd, and they're not really going to go out of their way to do anything else. And they're the Cramps, and they've been the Cramps for 15 years, and the people who like them still do, and the people who haven't heard of them probably never will. And we're sort of like, I mean, if you like us, I don't care who you are. I don't care if you just bought a Whitney Houston album. If you want to buy our record, do it, man. You know, because it's rock and roll. I mean, if you like U2, if you like REM, if you like the Replacements, it's like, well, you're doing all right because it's all rock and roll. You know.
Well, the problem now, rock and roll is pretty much, it's sort of been, you know, manufactured and processed because it's everywhere. It's on TV shows, commercials.
Oh yeah.
And it sort of takes away the importance of music.
Well,
the music that you guys play.
Well, as a movement or something to say, like, the young people of today are going to grasp these rock and roll bands because they're saying something that nobody else understands or something. Well, it's like with MTV and all that, you get everything you want to see. You got the Beatles doing commercials. I mean, you know.
Michael Jackson selling the rights.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think anybody is doing anything that's overly radical or overly new or overly anything for anybody to just say, well, this is so wigged out, throw everything else away. I think rock and roll is, it's been here a long time, and everybody that likes it.
That's, you know, though it's sort of being, you know, mainstream, there'll always be little guys around. So
Yeah.
just do that with something different.
Yeah.
Away from other parties.
Yeah, let's hope it's good, yeah.
You mentioned MTV. Do you guys have video?
No, but we're going to do one because MTV, 120 minutes and stuff like that, is like, you know, you can put a video on MTV and the next time you play an all ages show, there'll be 14-year-olds there who saw you on MTV. And
That doesn't bother you? I mean, you'll take their money.
no, I think, you know, because when people are 14, their heads are like, they're wide open, you know? It's totally, I mean, to get someone who's 25 to listen to your record and actually come to your show, that's saying a lot because they're like, well, hey, dude, you know, I got a job, and I gotta do all this and that, and I'm sort of old to be going out to rock shows and stuff. But 14-year-olds, you know, their heads are just there just to be blown apart, you know? I mean, when I was like 12 or something, and I saw The Who with Keith Moon, and I had no idea what was going to happen. You know, and I was there, and it was just...
I guess they have live.
Live?
We got a video going.
The video's going at the same time. Okay, man. It looks like it probably misses there.
So what's the idea for the video, if anything?
It's just a film of just us and being weird and stuff. There is no real concept or anything.
Is it $20 to make or something?
No, I mean, it costs a lot of money.
A relative film. It's nothing complicated.
No, we got a film student who can do a lot of stuff in the school and stuff like that. You know, and that's the only way we can do it. We can't do a $10,000 video and make anything that's worth a shit. So we just have to use our heads.
I guess does it put a live video work? That's pretty intense.
I don't know. I think it'd probably be too weird for a lot of people. I mean, if you're gonna make a video for the fact of like having people who don't know what you're all about to check it out, you know, the people who do like us, I think they would like it fine. But people who have never seen us and stuff, I don't know if they get
We'll
it.
have it a live record.
I don't know. I mean, I think we could do a good one, but I just don't know if it's like the right time or anything. I mean, we probably end up doing a bunch of covers or something, you know. Because I mean, I think our live thing is really where we're the best. When you're right there in front of us and we're playing at maximum volume, maximum smoke.
And it's every band should be played that way.
I agree that everybody, you know, should see them right in their face and get that.
That's right. That's right.
I mean, I saw In Excess and PIL Monday night, and there was 20,000 people there. I was in the back, and it was about as loud as this is. And you know, I couldn't see them. I could tell that there was guys up there on the stage, and all the 14-year-olds were going totally nuts. And I knew that the people behind me couldn't see, and they were still going crazy.
And that's it. Everyone's like, they're supposed to act in a certain way, and they are.
Well, it's their, you know, one time a month get to go out. But I just thought, man, if you guys could see, like, Butthole Surfers from 2 rows back, you wouldn't need In Excess $20 a ticket. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Do you want to see Johnny play? Was he wearing his rusted bottom?
Yeah, and he just, yeah. I wanted to like it, but I didn't really, because I don't think he plays to the big audiences like the In Excess guys do. He's sort of like, oh, you dumbasses are here, and what am I supposed to do? You know?
What do you think he's doing it as just a sham, or do you think?
No, I think he's legitimately trying to sell more records, because I mean, he's done a lot of PIL. I mean, I see PIL in the bargain bins, you know, at Sound Warehouse. So I think he's probably like reached a point where he's like, fuck him, you know. It's like, if I'm gonna do anything here, I've got to play to the same people In Excess, Duran Duran, and all those guys do, because that's really, if you're ever gonna be a Led Zeppelin or the Who, that's the people who are gonna do it for you, the U2s and the Bruce
Have you
Springsteen.
guys ever opened up for anybody?
Well, we haven't opened up for anybody in those sort of circumstances. We played a
Nothing like
festival.
those weekend theater shows.
Well, we played a festival over in Europe that was like a 3-day thing, and it was like the equivalent of like a Woodstock or something. There was 50,000 people a day. And it was Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We were Saturday night, 10 o'clock. And we were pretty much shitting in our pants, you know. And there was all these people there. And, I mean, they had like a lot of cool stuff. Bob Geldof, Echo and the Bunnymen, Sonic Youth played right before us. Voodoo Blues played after us. And, you know, it was just in the vein of, here's a lot of cool bands, check them out. And yeah, you just get to play to all these people instead of like...
Did you guys go well? Did they
Oh
know
yeah,
you?
they did. They knew our songs.
I guess you're pretty well received.
Well, I mean, the people that like us a lot. The people that don't, you know, I don't know what they think, but I mean, it was like, I was sitting there just tuning the guitar before we started, and there were people screaming, and yeah, I mean, they couldn't talk English, but they could say our songs, you know. I want my own planet. You're like, yeah, I do too, guy, you know.
That's right. That song on the EP, on the first EP,
Yeah.
On Planet J.
Yeah.
How come that reminds me of another song? Does it? Well, I don't know. Should it?
I don't know. I heard a song.
I was surprised you guys wrote it. I had to read it.
Oh yeah, that was our hit, man.
Really?
Yeah.
It sounds so familiar. Yeah, I don't want to say you guys stole it from someone.
No, we didn't at the time. I've heard a song that sounds sort of like it, that was put out like last year or something, but no, ours is way back. Yeah.
So they stole it from you.
They probably did.
Yeah.
Let's call them up. Fuck with them.
Well, let's see who's in the band now. There's Mike.
Mike plays bass, Richard
Right.
plays drums, and I play guitar and sing.
Whose brother used to be in the band?
That was my brother. He's on the
Is he here tonight?
No.
I thought he worked with you guys.
Well, he did on one tour. It was like a 6-week tour. He was like roadie and road manager and stuff like that.
Right.
But he's got a job. He's got a house and a car and a wife and dogs and all
He's got
that.
responsibilities.
Well, I mean, we've got responsibilities too, but he's in this being at home.
Yeah, but you don't take care of them. I guess he does, right?
We just blow this shit off.
You let your checks bounce, too.
Well, I mean, literally, I do, because it's like, if we're at home and we need something, you know, and if you don't have any money, you just write a hot check, because I'm not going to be there when the collection agency calls. What can I care, you know? We'll go out on the road, make $1,000, we'll send it home. I'm never there. If the phone gets shut off, I don't care, you know. I'm not there, you know.
So let's you want to talk about the guys in the band? Just looking at Mike, he looks sort of in his own world. Just looking at Paul. Is he sort of like his own person?
Yeah, he is. He's sort of reserved if you don't know him. Of course, if you know him, he's just like
He's a regular guy, right?
Yeah, he doesn't come across as like, man, you're weird.
Yeah.
I mean, he does look weird and stuff, but he's real smart and stuff, Richard is like, see, we all sort of, I knew Richard from a long time ago, even before high school and stuff. And Richard sort of knew Mike, and my brother sort of knew Mike from high school, so we all sort of come from the same sort of thing. So to be the quote weirdos from Oklahoma, that sort of is our thing, We're not going to move to LA or New York and try to do what those people are doing is cool. We're us, and we're stuck with what we are. And that's
But there's no desire, say, to move out to LA where it's at?
Well, a lot of bands do that because if they're in a place like Oklahoma City, no record companies ever come there to see a band.
Sure, right.
And there is no industry there. You can't even get a record pressed there. I mean, when we did our first record, it shipped out to LA.
So maybe for your sake, shouldn't you move out? And,
well, not anymore because, I mean, if we have to do stuff in LA, we just go out there. And the world sort of revolves around us anymore. If they want to get a hold of us, they got to call us. I mean, we've just become more like Lips in Oklahoma. That's like our thing. It isn't anything that it isn't like we're proud or we're saying, yeah, it's our thing, but that's just what we are.
Right.
We're the Lips and we're from Oklahoma. As little as we're there, we're just from planet Earth anymore. We're from everywhere anymore. And every place really is a lot of money. Down to it. There's the elitist people in Oklahoma with the black hair and they wear all black.
aren't they here tonight?
I'm sure there'll be some here tonight. I mean, and there's that goes on everywhere. And you get your people like you guys who are just. But in Oklahoma, there's so few, and they just get fucked up because they never go out and see. People out there, you can just do what you want. I don't even care if you just want to have a job, like my brother and sit at home. It's like, just do what you want, If you want to do a fanzine, that's great. If you want to be in a band, that's great,
Does your mother or father say, hey, do it, man?
Oh yeah, they dig it. They come to all our shows when we play. They've always been there, even when nobody else was.
It's funny, I do my fanzine. My parents can't understand why I do it. They say, you don't make money, or you take your own free time and doing all this.
Yeah, well, our road manager, he's that same way. His folks didn't even know he was out on the road with us. And People magazine came out, and she went to call him and say, hey, your friends are in People, and he wasn't there, and he called her from the road and said, I'm out on the road. She's like, oh my God, what about school, and what are you going to do about your apartment, your dog, or whatever?
That's like his mom and dad.
See, my parents, I've got a lot of older brothers. And I think by the time my folks got to me, they were just glad that I'm normal, I'm not in prison, and if you want to do that, Wayne, go ahead, and I do, and they like it.
I guess as long as you guys are having a fun time, money does come in.
Oh yeah, we do make a lot of money and stuff, but we really could care less about the money. We're not into it for the money, or for any of those bogus reasons which sound cool when you say them. We're really not. As long as we're doing our records and playing the way we want, then we're kicking ass over a lot of people because a lot of people don't do what they want.
Exactly.
We dress the way we want, whether it looks stupid or not.
I'm glad you said that.
Really, we do. And so I don't know. That's why my folks like it because they're like independent weirdos themselves, and so they actually think the stuff we do is good. That song you guys played was so great.
Does that make you wonder that maybe you would do something else? Or,
No, because it's like just total noise. We played shows in Norman where it's just like some of the worst shows we've ever played. It's almost like literally noise for 20 minutes, and they're like, oh, it was so great. You're like,
It's nice to have something that
yeah, they are. They're great. And the other guys too, their folks are all into it. Mike is he's a celebrity on his block now. He's the only guy that's ever been in a band on that block, and it's a real middle class, big house and all this, and the neighbors watch over that.